G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. With me today is Interjection and we're going to be casting a game between Soldier, who spawns in the south of the map, playing on the color green as Mexico, and his opponent, who spawns on the other side of the map. It is of course Fitzbro, who's playing Mexico as well and going to be playing on the color pink. And tell us a little bit about this map, Interjection. What are we playing on today?
Oh boy, we're playing on Texas. Texas remade, version 2.0. Basically just no outposts here, which is kind of interesting because Texas is such a cool layout. I really love the version with the pond in the middle. This map doesn't have that. Instead, we've just got an extra trading post there. So still sort of taking up some room in the middle of the map. It's not a pond, but yeah, the key thing is no outposts. So we get to see Texas in its full glory here, which is kind of cool because Texas, California, both maps that have sort of been reworked or upgraded, I suppose, with Mexico coming out, and both of those places were at one point territories of the United States of Mexico. So kind of nice, kind of cool to be playing on these maps with Mexico being launched, I suppose. But yeah, Soldier, by the looks of it, going to be getting a 75 food treasure, I think, guarded by 2 alligators. So a nice start.
Yeah,
80 food.
A really nice treasure for him. So, as you mentioned, there's been a lot of changes to Texas. For anybody who's been around as long as I have or you have Inter, we will remember the days where Texas was in the default map pool and you spawned in with a barracks and 2 outposts. And you never got to choose where they were. And sometimes you'd get a nice outpost here and an outpost there and your barracks in the back. And sometimes it would be the other way around. But typically on this map, if you got Texas, there was a very good chance you were just going to go for a straight fast fortress or even a fast industrial. It was very common. I actually remember a game between I Am Grunt and Gluck the Boss on this map. I Am Grunt was playing the Ottomans. He spawned down here. Gluck the Boss was playing as the French. He spawned up here. He dropped a fort over here, and I Am Grunt obviously beat him because he was one of the best players at the time. But one of the other things to note about this map is there's a lot more spawns of hunts. So before it used to be your starting bison hunt, which I think you had just maybe 2 or 3 bison in it, and then there were 2 spawns of bison around your town center, and that was it. But on this map, there's a lot more now. There's a lot more resources.
Yeah, I mean, the original trades like extra defense in your base, but this version has just trades that for incredibly more animals. So playing out more like a standard map, which is kind of cool and interesting to see. I'm just interested to see how games play out in Texas. It's just a cool map. I like the layout.
Yeah, I really like it as well. It's a really cool layout. It kind of reminds me almost a little bit of just Great Plains. It's a very, very open map. Not a lot of trees in the middle. And, majority of the trees are going to be on the outside of the map as well. But, it's a very open map. There's no real hilly things to it. I think normally there might be a hill that spawns up towards the north or down towards the south, but it looks like this is a very flat. Yeah, you see there's a little bit of a cliff face just here. But for the most part, very, very flat, very open. So I suspect it's going to be quite an aggressive map now, considering that no more outposts spawn here.
Yeah, certainly going to play differently. What have the players done so far there? I see a market opening there for Soldier. Seems to like that. He's gotten the hang of that with the 100 coin start. And that's his deck. So,
Going to be opening up with just the standard Hacienda plus 2 settlers. Doesn't look like his deck has changed too much, so he's still got the Observer's card in there, which is going to increase the range of the Salteador. He's also got the Cav Combat card in there, as well as Guerrilla Tactics, which is going to increase the damage of the Rifle Infantry. So making sure that he's got both his Skirmisher upgrades as well as his Dragoon upgrades in here as well. Now, he's going to be going up with Durango.
Durango.
Okay,
sweet. Gets the Fortified Hacienda card, which gives you a Hacienda and lets your Haciendas have a ranged attack if villages are inside them. And the other card is Cerro de Mercado, which transforms all of your wood into coin.
Oh, yes, of course.
So
okay,
got that one.
And we'll take a look at
Fitzbro.
Fitzbro.
Fitzbro opening up differently. He's got his coin on the floor there. I'm sure I'll gather that in a moment, that coin crate. But decided to open with the trading post that we saw him do last game. So he's going to be up slightly later than Soldier. What's he aging with?
So he's going up with
Cuatrero.
Curatero. Yes, it is. How do you pronounce that?
I don't want to say it with too much confidence in case I'm wrong, but I think it's Cuatrero.
I've heard if you just say it like a Mexican actor from a narcotic movie, it's actually perfectly fine. So as long as you're just like Curatero, then you should be fine. I think people will accept that. But tell us a little bit about this age up.
Works, is it?
Yeah, that's how it works. Tell us what options is he going to have when he gets up to the next stage?
So he's got the Artegia reforms, which gives you the double age up bonus and free barracks upgrade, and the other card is the Hacienda wagon plus all of your Hacienda's support some population space. So those are his two options. I think here it makes sense with the trading post that he's going for some kind of fortress base play. I really think that that card that lets your Hacienda's support population is quite good for that style of play, and obviously the free barracks upgrade and the doubling your reward is also kind of nice. In this case, he's only got the one Hacienda wagon there. You can add, you can have two Haciendas in your age 1 cards, and then you get the third one from that card he's now sending, and then you get 60 population total. And you have 3 Haciendas really early on, which is kind of nice. In this case, only going to have 40 population.
There is a card that you mentioned it, so it's just the one Hacienda. There's no villages that come with it. Is that a card that you've seen a lot throughout your play with Mexico so far?
Well, we've been using it. I mean, it's not as good as the 2 villager opening, but obviously it's not. You need like a 3-vil kind of card, because that's all civs have some kind of powerful card like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're going to do some kind of like fancy build where you send federal cards that like give you benefits from having Haciendas, then it's kind of good. I mean, it works as Mexico. You open with the trading post, you get plenty of XP, and when you build the Hacienda, that also gives you 120 XP, and you get a second Hacienda, which gives you another 120 XP. So it's not like you're too far behind in shipments.
You're kind of playing like the Dutch in a way, aren't you? With their banks, and they roll those banks and they keep going over. So yeah, look, he's got plenty of XP. You're not wrong with regard to that. That actually makes a lot of sense.
You can ship 2 Haciendas in age 1. I mean, obviously long term, it's like you do feel it. You do feel like you've lost a shipment, but like it's not like you can't send a shipment as soon as you hit age 2. Like you can still send 2 of them and kind of like do something. Like it's not a huge penalty. But here, looking like he wants to do fortress based plays, kind of macro to age up by the looks of it. Probably just waiting on a coin shipment, or is that already arrived? No, is he just going to chop for the age up? He's going to chop the coin?
I think he's going to send 700 coin, but I think he might have forgotten to send it at this point. He's got a couple of villages in queue, but we'll take a look at what Soldier's doing now. He's got the double explorers out at the moment. Can you tell us a little bit about this? So Mexico's got access to 2 hero units, is that right?
Yeah, so if you know much, well, if you've looked at Mexican history, there was a very Miguel Hidalgo, very it basically started Mexico off on their way to become an independent nation. So it's just super appropriate for a Mexico civ to have a Padre hero, an additional hero unit, and that's what they have there. He's got lots of upgrades in the cathedral, but yeah, you get this guy as soon as you hit age 2. You don't have him in age 1 because you have a general, which is already better than an explorer. So you get him when you hit age 2, but yeah, you get this extra hero, which is kind of nice.
So Salteador is going to be coming out now. Now these guys have got 17 range, 17 attack, so 2 more than a skirmisher would. If you play the Dutch and you've got those age 2 skirmishers out, you'd be used to them. They've got their 15 ranged attack, and I think they've got a range of, is it 20 in age 2?
17 range.
Right, 17 range for the Salteador.
So you're paying for it. Like you have 0.5 extra speed, which is super good. Like that is what you want on a skirmisher. High damage skirmisher, high speed skirmisher. That is the purest form of skirmisher. That's what you want. But you don't have as much range. So whilst the unit is super nice to use and control, like you do sometimes find yourself getting kind of close. Probably still a super good unit overall. Age 2 skirmisher, like that's a bonus in of itself. Dutch has that, right? Like, but yeah, you're swapping out range for speed.
Right, and so during that time, we've had Soldier now go up to the next age. He's gone up and he's got access to Bustamante. This is one of your favorites. Tell us about this.
I don't know why. I love this card. It's so satisfying. Like the 10% hit points is just like a great bonus anyway. But what you get to do is build 4 field hospitals, but they're not field hospitals. They're barracks because they can train soldados. Has he sent that card?
Not yet, no, but he does have a card that's about to come in, so we'll have to look and see whether he actually goes for that one.
Yeah, it's nice. It's just like, it's kind of like 800 wood if you actually use all of the the field hospitals as barracks. I just like the card. I like training them. I'm not sure it really fits into the build he's doing, or if it's like that strong in this case, but yeah, 10% hit points on Soldaros, you might just send it just for that. at
Now,
some point in the game.
Fitzbro has
look what we've
gone
got,
up.
2 Falconets. Oh, both players. Okay.
Well,
he's
Fitzbro's
gone he's
revolted.
gone to Central America.
Yeah, he's gone into Central America against. This is the second time he's going to try and make this work. No 2 Culves are coming out for him preemptively. Probably didn't realize that Soldier had gone up to the next stage, but it does look like Eager's going to attempt to apply a little bit of pressure here. Fitzbro not falling back with the Revolutionaries, rather looking to push up into melee. This is a dangerous choice.
Nah, Soldier's fine. He's going to take out one of them.
He's going to get one. He gets the first one, but now he's going to be trading out his own Falc for it. There it goes. So
that's not good.
I really feel like in that position, Fitzbro really needed to just, as soon as he spotted those double Falcs, just get himself out of the fight, send through those 2 Culverin, and he would have been fine. He's got access to these 2 Culverins here in the 3rd age, rather. But yeah, he is going to be absolutely fine. And now we just see those units head into stealth straight away. Did you see that? These units can just jump into stealth straight away, begin harassing villagers, not taking out any of them, but getting 2 of them to quite low HP and managing to stealth back up again. That was very quick. Look at that.
It's the big ability button that he sent. So they have, I think the cooldown's currently 15 seconds, which is, way too long. But basically, yeah, they when they're not in combat, they go into stealth and with no speed penalty. It's like the Carolean or the Inca big ability button. It's got quite a long cooldown on it, but you get this stealth ability there.
So just to explain this, so he sent a card from the home city, and that has enabled him to essentially stealth, just like the Haudenosaunee Forest Prowlers would stealth as well. But the main thing is that obviously he's got to send a card to do it, to unlock it, but he doesn't lose his speed when he does that. Is that correct?
Yeah, but it's limited. It's a 15-second long ability, so when you use it, they automatically go into stealth if they can, and then they can come out of stealth to shoot, and they go straight back into stealth during that period of time whilst the ability is active. That's right.
Wow. Okay, so you could potentially sneak up on your enemy just like he did there, and look to snipe something out. Maybe a high-value target, or a falconet or something like that. But obviously, you got to get yourself in nice and close, and these are skirmisher units. They're not musketeers. They don't want to be up too close. But now he's actually shipped in the extra +2 range. So now picking up a total of 19 range. Is there any other way for the Salteador to increase its range?
Yeah, there's one more card in the Industrial Age, the Plan of Miriam, something like that. It transforms all your Salteadors into French Voltigeurs.
Oh, yes, I do remember reading that one.
You get 2 extra range on all of your rifle infantry. So yeah, they can get another 2 range. Look at the heal there. Padre coming in strong. I really like that. You can sort of raid with your cavalry or something, or in this case, you've just got, some damaged units. Padre just sort of heals them up. You never train healers in Age 3. The priests are just too expensive, but you just have one. Just, he's handy there. He just heals them up.
Yeah,
it's nice.
Exactly like the Indian monks. It's very, very handy to have it, but obviously, to build a church and then train a healer, it's expensive. But look how tightly packed these Salteadors are. They managed to get a split off just at the last second, and Fitzbro actually getting a pretty good shot in there. Now going to be pushing down as well with his Revolutionaries. Now, these Revolutionaries, they get countered by the Salteadors because they are heavy infantry, so it's basically like muskets here versus skirmishers, but obviously only one Falconet. We can actually see at the top here, Guerrilla Tactics Timer. As it comes down to 4 seconds, 3 seconds.
He can't see him, he's getting super close, and he sneaked up,
wow.
And there he is, and he takes out the Falconet.
So there you go.
What a great use of the ability.
That really shows you how it should be used, or how it could be used. And now, the stats for these units, they're relatively good for what they are, but obviously they do get countered quite effectively by cavalry. If your enemy is on top of you, though, and you're not in combat, but they're about to come into combat, are you able to stealth and then get away from those cavalry units?
No, you can't stealth if there are units within 20 range.
Right. Okay. So they have to sort of stealth as an offensive thing, or yeah, it needs to be a proactive stealth rather than a reactive stealth.
Yep.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So I guess the next question is, once those units are stealthed up, how do you uncover them? Obviously, they can move right up to your units, but if you've got an explorer nearby, are they still able to bypass that, or will the explorer find them out? It actually looks like Good Game has just been called right in front of us.
Yeah, and like one of the reasons he was able to kill those Falcons, like we were looking at the big ability button and being like, oh, look at him and sneak up on that cannon. He managed to kill it so easily. But like Fitz didn't manage to mass too many of them. If he had two Falcons or three Falcons and managed to mass them up, like that's when the Salteados can't really get in close because the cannons are just too punishing. I
Yeah.
think like yeah, he's just not able to train villages. You can see the score deficit, right? Stuck on 25 vills. As the game just goes on, it's just gonna get more and more in Soldier's favor, and that's what we see. Just eventually wins.
I think if you are going to play into this style, you probably want to try some form of maybe cavalry opening. Makes a lot of sense because you want to try and bring your enemy down with you, if that makes sense, because you're not going to be able to make vills, so you need to do as much damage to their economy as you can, and then sort of buy yourself time until you can seal the deal with those all-important falconets.
Yeah, I mean that's one way to play this Civ. I actually, sorry, this revolution. But like, I think there's another option here where you could sort of fast industrial, sort of skip up. Like you get those 7 extra vills, and then like try and play like you have this eco boost. So maybe like that's a style I've been sort of playing with. Actually, you'll see that later in the next game.
All right, well, let's jump into that next game. If you're watching this on YouTube, I hope you've enjoyed it. Injection, once again, thank you very much for joining me on this cast.
It's been a pleasure. I would happily join you
Oh, that's great to hear.
more often.
All right, I love to hear it. All right, well, we'll definitely dive into more casts. I hope you guys on YouTube are looking forward to it, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.